Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Legal Lioness channel. And today I am talking about lawfare. Basically, when somebody uses the law or the courts against somebody else and actually misuses them. So this is a story about a YouTuber who has put herself at the center of a story or stories that she's been reporting. And I'm talking today about copyright infringement and copyright strikes. Now, as many of you know, I am a copyright attorney. It is what I've done for the last 3 decades, so this is really within my wheelhouse. So we're talking about one creator doing a copyright strike against another creator, but the circumstances of this one are completely wild. I couldn't even have made this up. It is absolutely crazy. And so I am talking about the family of JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, who were unfortunately murdered by their mother, Laurie Vallow Daybell, the crazy doomsday mom. So it's the family of the victims, okay, who are also victims, obviously. So I'm talking about the grandmother Kay and the aunt Kreesha. Now Kreesha has got a true crime channel on YouTube, and this comes in relation to this Kreesha's channel receiving a copyright strike. And I'm going to explain to you about copyright strikes, how they work, what it is, and Kreesha's video got taken down, but it is now back up. So I will link that in the description and in the pinned comments. If you're watching this and it's not yet linked, just come back in a couple of hours. I will link it as soon as I can. So what happens is copyright strike. Okay, if somebody is using your copyright material, you complain to YouTube and they will take the video down. They will automatically take the video down. And I know this because one of my channels got copyright struck by a very large creator. And yes, so that was when I had 300 subs and they had tens of thousands. Anyway, so I know the process intimately. Anyway, so the Kreesha and her family, Kay Woodcock, they've been through a nightmare from hell. And when the whole thing happened with the children were missing, and then everybody was looking for the children, and then the children's bodies were found, a lot of media and YouTubers try to get friendly with the families of the victims, and especially with Kay. And she's very, from all accounts, she's very kind, sweet, caring. And one of the people who seemed to get the inside track was Lauren Mathias from Hidden True Crime. Now, if you watch True Crime, you will know Lauren Mathias and her husband, who's the psychologist, criminal psychologist, he calls himself. I don't know if he is a criminal psychologist. Anyway, he's a psychologist, and Lauren apparently is an investigative reporter, although sometimes her investigative skills leave a bit to be desired, in my opinion. Anyway, so Lauren does the reporting, and then she interviews Dr. John, as she calls him. She used to also call him Dr. Babe, which was like really strange. Anyway, so their channel really came to the fore around the reporting of the Daybell situation. And Lauren really befriended, especially Kay Woodcock, yes, and even had Kay in her house. So they became very close. So the reason I'm telling you this background story is because it was Lauren who put the strike against Kreesha and Kay on Kreesha's channel. So how all of that happened is that Kreesha has had some videos and some photographs that she provided to, I think it was a different YouTuber, or anyway, it got put out, and then Lauren Mathias from Hidden True Crime took the videos and the photographs and put them together in like a carousel or a little movie of all these things. But now remember, Kreesha owns the copyright to start with. Kreesha or somebody in the family, probably Kreesha, of these individual photographs. Then there's a whole big drama with Lauren Mathias, apparently bullying other creators, using stalking injunction and police to enforce these things. That's just the allegation that's out there. I will get into all of that in another video. That's not to do with this. But how it kicks things off is that Kreesha and Kay Woodcock get onto Keisha's channel. And now this is years after the case has been finalized and Laurie's in jail. Laurie Daybell is in jail. So they get on to Keisha's channel and they start talking about this issue that's happening with Lauren, and this other lady who's not actually a YouTuber. She puts some videos on TikTok. I will explain all of that in another video. Anyway, Kay and Kreesha are not happy with the things that Lauren has done, and so they are talking about this situation, which is a wild topic in the social media world of true crime reporting. And so they're talking about it. They're not happy about it. I believe they were talking about a 9-hour live in which Lauren was crying. And anyway, so Lauren Mathias from Hidden True Crime basically gets angry that they've said what she considers to be negative things about her. And so she wants to stop their video from being published. And she sees that Kreesha has used, while her and Kay are busy talking during their live, Kreesha has used Lauren's that little video of all the photos together and the videos. They've used it as a background while they're busy talking. So Lauren issues what's called a copyright strike against Keisha's channel and against that video specifically. And so when somebody claims to own the copyright in, if it's a video or a photograph, and they complain to YouTube, they say, hey, I own the copyright in that item, and these people are using it, and then automatically YouTube will take it down. And then what you can do is you can appeal to YouTube, and this is what I had to do in my case with my other channel. You appeal to YouTube and you explain why it's not a copyright infringement if you don't think it is. In my situation, I had taken a very small part of somebody else's video, and I had changed it, changed the essence of it. But anyway, you still got to go through the YouTube process, and while YouTube is considering it, it stays down. And then the copyright owner then has, I think there's 90 days within which they can file proceedings against you for copyright infringement. And you can, if they do file proceedings, YouTube will keep your video off YouTube, and so it's not accessible. Or if the copyright owner doesn't file proceedings, then your video can go back up. And so when I appealed against the copyright thing on my other channel, the person did not file copyright proceedings, and my video was allowed to go back up. And so when I say file copyright proceedings, that's basically taking somebody to court. Sorry, I've got people cycling past my garden here. So in this situation, I don't know if Kreesha and Kay, what they did with YouTube, they must have objected somehow to YouTube, because then Lauren Mathias filed copyright proceedings in the copyright court against Kreesha and Kay. So there's a copyright infringement proceedings, which is wild to me, because the copyright in the original photographs and videos belonged to Kreesha. Yes, Lauren did put them together, and if you put something together in a compilation like that, you can own copyright in the compilation. But I don't know where they got their legal advice from, because the original underlying copyright belonged to Kreesha, and Lauren did not have authority from Kreesha or Kay, whoever owned the copyright, to put it into the compilation. So the compilation itself was an infringement of the prior copyright. Probably, most likely. In the US, you do have something called fair use, and you can use material copyrighted material under this fair use exception, like reporting the news and that kind of thing. But still, there's an argument there that what Lauren did was itself an infringement of the other people's copyright. Anyway, so she files her proceedings in the copyright court, and then there's a hitch and a delay because the proceedings weren't done correctly. Now, I haven't actually seen what the document said. I'm just going off reporting from Dreadful Penny's video. I will put her, I think it's called Dreadful Penny, I'll put her link as well. But anyway, there was some issue with the paperwork, and then Lauren didn't correct the issue, so the court case basically lapsed. It never went anywhere, and now because there's no longer infringement proceedings pending against Kreesha and Kay, they've been able to reinstate their original video with that video clip in it. So the whole thing is absolutely nuts and crazy to me, and I've heard some supporters of Lauren saying, well, you know, intellectual property is intellectual property and people are allowed to protect their intellectual property. But in this situation, it's absolutely bonkers, to use one of Prince Harry's phrases. The original photographs belong to Kreesha and Kay and their family. So already Lauren is using their material to make this compilation video. Secondly, she's supposedly such good friends with these people, and she's used that friendship to make content for her site. To actually, what was the thing that helped her videos and her channel actually gain traction in the true crime community, this closeness with the family. And then, you know, she has built her reputation. This is Lauren from Hidden True Crime. She's built her reputation on claiming that the reason why she advocates for true crime stories is because she only is concerned about the families of the victims. If she was concerned about the family of the victims, she wouldn't have copyright struck the video. And it's quite clear, if you know the history, the reason she copyright struck the video was to take it down because she didn't like the things that Kay and Kreesha were saying about her, not because she was really worried about the copyright issue. Now, Kay and Kreesha could have left the video, they could have uploaded the video and just removed that particular part or edited that particular part. So when my other channel got struck, and there was a particular part where I showed a video of somebody and they were talking, what I did was I kept them talking and I just edited in, I think it was a video clip of snakes. So I was, and YouTube allowed that second version to go up while the first version was busy being debated. So anyway, it horrifies me on so many levels, but as a copyright attorney, the fact that somebody would misuse the process, clearly she was misusing it because she didn't want Kay and Keisha's criticism of her to be out there in the public, and it's clearly the reason. If you take the whole history of everything, and you can disagree with me if you want, but yeah. So if you know of any YouTube channels that have got a copyright strike, get them to email me. I'll help them at no charge, because it's something that gets my goat is when people misuse the legal process to try and silence people, and that's not what the copyright process is all about. So do let me know what you think of this video and this topic, and I will do another video explaining the whole Hidden True Crime saga. I won't do 9 hours like Lauren did, I promise, but I'll just give you a summary. And again, it's another situation of somebody, in my opinion, misusing the legal process to try and achieve a goal, which is basically to silence critics. And of course, in the US, free speech is protected speech. So, all right, my lovelies, you have a fantastic day, and do let me know what you think of this one down below.